Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Over-Under on 1252 Sports. I'm your host, Harry the Greek, alongside with my co-host, Mr. Peter Blake. Peter, how are you today?
Happy Sunday, buddy. How you doing?
It's absolutely incredible, man. It's week 6.
Yes, it is.
We got so much to talk about today.
We do. We always got something to talk about. I'm
God.
so excited about it.
You're so excited?
I'm excited. I can't hide it.
I can't hide it either. Hi, Rick. What'd you have for dinner?
I had McDonald's for breakfast, actually. And I'm in the middle of a move, which, by the way, where I moved, there's actually a McDonald's down the street. So it actually works out, but I probably should stop eating some McDonald's. What?
No.
What? What?
You know what? It's week 6 in the National Football League. I sure hope you've been following the picks. I'll tell you what, I've been red hot. Couple of weeks wasn't so too good. But last week, let's analyze a couple of those bets that I made.
Please do. What happened on Thursday night? Because I know this is a Chicago.
Can we get off of Thursday night? Let's go back to.
Can I go back to Thursday night? What was worse? What was worse, that game or the new Halloween movie? Have you seen the new Halloween movie yet?
No, I don't want to see the new Halloween.
Okay, it was both equally worthless because nobody could score in that game and nobody could kill in that movie, especially Michael Myers. Just saying, but. Honestly, you have to feel bad for Justin Fields, right? Don't you?
Yes.
To a certain degree.
Yes.
And then the wide receiver, you You put yourself in that situation. You're not even if you catch that ball, most likely it's a touchdown. You win that game.
Look, at no point in that game was I worried about the Chicago Bears ever losing that game. Completely outplayed them. Still looked like dog poo-poo. I mean, it was horrible the way this team looked.
Right.
But defensively, they played well. Justin's holding on to the ball way too long. He's being pressured 50% of the times that he's dropping back into the pocket. I understand that you're rebuilding, but let's just get a grip. He's not going to, in my opinion, I'll get to that a little bit later, but I want to talk about one particular game because this is a gambling show. And there's a guy in my back room. I had the game of the week.
Game of the week.
I called him and told him when I was visiting up in New Jersey that the New York Jets would not only cover the spread, they were winning the game.
Yeah, I think you were just trying to get
absolutely
Jersey
not.
people on your side because you were up there. You were feeling nostalgic or something.
Yeah, well, I got good news.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You were right.
I have another big game this week.
What's the big game?
They're going to win.
Can you win me some money? Because this move is taking me.
I'm going to bring it right
out of pocket at this point.
Everybody,
okay.
If you can get 8 points or more, take the Jets today and make a very small position on the Jets actually beating Green Bay. The Green Bay Packers are not the team that they were once.
No, they're not.
Did you know? And here comes Bandit. Does he agree with me?
No, I don't think Bandit does agree with you. In fact, Bandit just decided, you know what? I'm going to sit in front of the camera at this point. These cats, they just love the limelight. They are your cat. Don't do that.
That's for the Green Bay Packers.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Unbelievable.
That's just messed up.
Without further ado, I want to go ahead and bring somebody in. He hasn't been in. He's the pride and joy of New Jersey, and he's also the smartest student in all of Syracuse.
Which, by the way, he's going to Syracuse University. They're undefeated. First time they've been undefeated as a college football team since 1987. They are red hot like this kid is red hot, and he's cheering right now. He knows what I'm talking about.
My boy, Jacob, the man, Charnow.
Yo.
What are you doing, little brother?
I'm actually home for the weekend. So that's nice.
Are you
but I will be.
Basement?
How is college times there, my friend?
Here, give us all the details. Hold on.
Oh, please.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
Give us the details.
Please don't give me the details with that stupid music on. Kill that music.
Go for it.
School's awesome. I mean, like, I'm at the Newhouse School of Communications at Syracuse. It's everything you hear about it. It's all true. It's awesome. But yeah, Harry, I have to applaud you for that pick last week. The Jets. I was at that game. That was, I mean,
I didn't say they were covering.
It was
I
domination.
said the Jets were winning the game.
It was domination. That's what it was. You were right.
It was completely domination from the kickoff. I'm telling you. And again, this week, because NFL, everybody knows exactly what it stands for. It stands for no friggin' logic. Okay.
Wow, that's good.
You know, it really.
I always thought it was not for long.
Jacob, do us a favor, because a lot of people miss you, especially on the platforms that we broadcast live on. Tell everybody what you've been doing the past couple of months. Make everybody proud.
The last couple of months, I've been getting used to college. I think that's the number one thing. But man, I haven't been as active on YouTube or these shows as I would have liked to be. But I hope that everybody can understand that my schedule is crazy right now with getting used to these clubs, getting used to these classes, because the workload, guys, it's a lot more than high school. So I'm getting used to it. Hopefully soon enough, I'll be able to come back on and do all this full time again. But it's awesome to be back. So I'm really excited to talk some week 6 with you guys.
Did he say clubs?
Yeah, he's clubbing it.
You better be staying out of the clubs.
Clubs as in like my student run broadcasting
okay.
clubs.
I was going to say, don't play the music. Stop with the
For the
music.
clubs.
I got your
Oh,
clubs right here. Club
yeah.
you.
Hey, don't forget, just to make sure everybody knows, if you like the show, you wouldn't like it if you weren't watching. Hit the share button. It's very important to us, and most importantly, also hit the like button. I'm sorry for the viewers that are on Twitter. For some reason, it's trying to broadcast, but it's not. We're trying to fix it here very shortly.
Gotta love technology.
It's live
beautiful.
and interactive.
Yes.
Don't forget, if you have a comment, make sure you go ahead and post a comment. It might even, we're going to read it live on the air. It might even change the narrative. And actually, most importantly, if you have a question or a comment for the Greek or Pete, and including Mr. Jacob, dial 727-320-5866. That's 320, 5866.
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
I got to dive right into it. You don't mind.
Well, I
We're
would
gonna
have
get
asked
it-
Jacob
go
if he
ahead.
saw the new Halloween movie. Have you seen the new
Oh my
Halloween
God, what
movie
is your
yet?
obsession with Halloween movie?
I'm just saying.
I watched Hocus Pocus last night,
Great. Congratulations. The first one or the second one?
the first one, and I fell asleep.
You're an idiot. Jacob. Jacob, did you see the new Halloween movie?
Hell, my wife is going to come through here with a broom and smack you in the head on the back.
I was
have
going to
not.
smack you in the head. You're married to her, not me.
Oy vey.
I have not yet seen the new Halloween movie, Peter.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
All right.
But-
Don't.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess I won't. Fortunately, I have not seen the new Halloween movie, and I won't be.
Jacob, I have a question for you, and I'm a novice. All right.
A what?
I'm a novice when it comes to this. Is it true in a particular county in New Jersey that it's against the law to have a business open on a Sunday?
It's against
Someone
the
was telling
law,
me that.
I believe, in all of New Jersey to have a business open on a Sunday. They're called blue laws.
Yeah, can you please explain to me what a blue law is? Because I just got back from your famous state, and I got to tell you, man, I am absolutely blasted by some of the things that I've seen. But go ahead, please explain to people.
It sounded
what
like
blue laws-
something different.
Not blue balls, it's blue
Oh,
laws.
it might just be in Bergen County.
I think it is.
It might just be in Bergen County. Restrict the sale of certain goods on Sundays, forcing all department, mall, and most retail stores to close for the day on Sunday. Everything from clothes to furniture to appliances are off limits, according
Now,
to
it's not a
North
religious thing,
North
because
Jersey
if
dot
it truly was a Jewish thing, it would be for Sabbath, which would be a Saturday.
Right. Or would be Chick-fil-A Day, which they always close for religious
That's
reasons.
a different one. It's the Christian day. You can't say Chick-fil-A and Christianity on this program.
Why
with
not?
This young man there. Wait, Vince,
Why?
You can't do it. Tell him, Jacob. It's just like
You-
sacrilegious.
Please
I'm-
shut up and
I'm
be
a pretty- I'm a
quiet.
pretty inclusive person, Harry. I think.
I'm only
Yeah,
kidding you.
jeez.
No, but really, what
I'm
is
rocking the
this?
chain this morning, though, for sure.
Yeah, you are rocking it, bro. So no, but seriously, what is that holiday for? Is it like some of the, because I know in some of the counties in Kentucky, they have like, no, I'm sorry, in Illinois, in a town called Wheaton, you're not allowed to sell alcohol on a Sunday. You can't go get it. It's bars don't open.
Well, there's no Victory
no
Sunday
alcohol.
there, right?
No.
There's no
That makes
Victory
sense,
Sunday with the
man.
Bears playing in Chicago anyway. So
And
that-
there's no
in
Victory
Illinois.
Sunday for, the Jets and
Don't-
usually the
Don't make me
the
get Bandit's
Giants.
ass and put it into the
You
camera.
usually,
okay?
I honestly, Harry, I don't know why blue laws exist. That's not a question for me. I'm not in the workforce, so I think that's. I'm sure we can look it up. I'm sure someone in the comments can look that up and tell us why there are blue laws. But I'm sure it has something to do with some union did something and now things are closed on Sundays.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Now, I know we're going to go way off topic here other than sports because I've seen some really strange things in the state of New Jersey.
All right, I'm hoping I can answer them.
I
to why
stopped
they
at a
exist.
quick check. And for those people that don't know what a quick check is, it's a Wawa. And for those of you that don't know what a hell a Wawa is, it's a convenience store.
With
Get
food
the Wawa.
Okay.
Get the
and
Wawa.
All right.
smoothies
So I go into a
and
Wawa.
quesadillas.
Okay.
I got my wife sitting in the car.
Yes.
And I get out of the car and it's hot outside. Broad daylight. I leave the car running. I walk inside the Wawa. I come back out and there's a cop circling my car. He goes, "Hey, is this your car?" I was like, "Yeah." "There's no idling." I said, "What? You mean no loitering?" "I'm not loitering. I'm going to the car." And he goes, "No, man, no idling. You can loiter all you want. You just can't let your car idle." "What?
Hey, what? What?
Are you kidding me? You can't idle a car in the state of New Jersey? Hold on.
What?
This gets better. Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you give me a couple extra plastic bags? I got to go ahead and clean out my car.
Nope.
No.
No.
What do you mean?
They got
What do you
rid
mean?
of that, dude.
Wait a minute. What do you mean? She looked at me like I was trying to kill every fish in the entire world.
Right.
Okay. I'm not kidding. I was like, "Look, man, I'm not going to feed this to a whale. It's not going to be in his stomach. I want to clean my car up.
I'm
Can I
not
get a
giving it to
I
my
said, "Come
cat
on,
or
stop it."
dog. Right.
We don't use plastic bags." And I was like, "Well, excuse me.
Wow.
Are you kidding me?" And then I started thinking about all these stupid laws that this place has. And by the way, did you know the Meridian, the average tax, homeowner's tax in the state of New Jersey is over $16,000 a year. It's a friggin' mortgage payment. But yet, when I'm driving down the parkway, by the way, and I'm looking for a certain exit, you know how they're supposed to reflect at nighttime?
Mm-hmm.
They don't.
No.
Where the hell is all this money going to New
What?
Jersey? Jacob Charnow in Bergen County wants to know.
What?
Yeah, I think that's a question for Phil Murphy, our governor. But that's I agree. It's driving at night on the Parkway, especially during the summer, having to drive back from the beach and like trying to find the exits and all that.
Nothing reflects. Where's the money? And
What?
I got to tell everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody knows I work for Bridgestone. I get out, in that illustrious airport called Newark. You can tell when you're there because when you get out, you inhale once and you start to choke.
Beautiful, man. It's
just gorgeous. It's like the armpit of the country. The other armpit sits just east of Chicago in a town called Gary, Indiana. Okay. But no, I love the people in New Jersey. Newark's a great city.
I'm
It's
sure
just
you
a
do.
little
love
bit dirty.
Newark Airport. You don't need to trust me, dude. Everybody, even the people who work at Newark Airport, hate Newark Airport. There's
yeah. I'm gonna get to another story because you're gonna love this.
and
There's
everyone
two of them
mean.
here. You're gonna get a 2-for-1. So I get off the airport. I'm with my lovely wife, and I have to walk a half a mile to get to a tram. Everybody's so friendly in there. I hold the door open for a lady. She looks at me. She goes, "What the hell do you want?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Sorry. There is nice people in this world. Anyway, I go across this tram. I get off at Airside C, whatever it is. I got to go down 3 flights of stairs, take an elevator, walk all the way around just to get to a kiosk that says, "I'm not working." I have to walk through the place, get out to Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and I'm going to sit in front of the people. And I says, "Hey guys, I reserved the Toyota Corolla. I just wanted to get around." And she goes, "Yes, sir, that's true, you do." And I says, "I service about 70 of your cars a week. I work for the Bridgestone retail operations. I was told if I asked for a free upgrade, you give it to me." She goes, "Absolutely." I was like, "Wow, there's a nice person in Jersey. This is pretty cool." So she says, "We have the Audi or we have a Mercedes." And I says, "Well, I'm not trying to make too much of a statement. I'll take the Mercedes." She goes, "Absolutely. Go ahead and sign here."
Interesting.
It was $180 for the 4 days. That's pretty good, right, Jacob? Right, Pete?
Yeah, I
Not
guess.
bad, right?
Yeah, that's not bad.
It was also $180 in fees and taxes.
That's not good.
And I still want to know, where the hell is all this money going? Can someone please tell me? Because it ain't in your street signs, and it's sure as hell is not in your roads. But you're worried about plastic bags, New Jersey.
Listen, it's all going to pay Aaron Judge. That's what's going to happen. Every
Aaron
single
Judge.
dollar of it's going to pay Aaron Judge this offseason.
You would think so.
Hey, you know what?
You would think so.
I'm very disappointed.
It
I'm
better
going to
be.
switch gears. Why are the New York Yankee fans,
Yes.
after breaking Roger Maris's record, one of the greatest players ever to put on a uniform in Mr. Aaron Judge,
Right.
because he goes through a bad set, that you're going to boo this guy in the playoffs? Are you kidding me?
Because
Jacob, I'm going to give that to you. That's got to make you upset.
Yeah, that makes me mad. I think that there's a lot of Yankee fans that are, it's when the team's at their best, they'll cheer. When they're not, they'll boo. And I think that's tough. Especially with me being a Jet fan, you're always cheering for your team, always, even through thick, through thin, whatever it is, highs and lows. Aaron Judge, it's been tough for him in the playoffs. Obviously, he hasn't been able to make contact, but you look at what he did during the regular season and specifically the end of the regular season and looking for number 62, it seems like he kind of threw off his swing. I'm hoping he gets it back, hopefully tonight, because if he doesn't get it back tonight, then he's waiting until next year, whether that's in New York or San Francisco or Citi Field. But man, I hope the Yankees can figure it out, because this is oh God. And with Cal Quantrill on the mound today, it's going to be a tough one for the Yankees, but I hope they can get it done.
Jacob, you picked it out. Before the Rays went up there, you said there's one team in this American League that bothers me, and it was the Cleveland Guardians. And my exact words were, "You're smoking crack, man. They're going to get beat by Tampa.
Man.
They're going to get beat by Tampa. It's going to be Tampa and New York. New York's the best team in baseball. Still, in my opinion, as bad as they played in the second half, but man, their pitching's really bad." Hey, listen, without further ado, we've got one in Bergen County. We got one in Pinellas County. We're in a Chicago platform and going all over. I love St. Pete.
And we got
The
comments
Sports
too.
Web. We have a
Yes.
ton of comments.
Yes.
But you know what? I cannot go another minute without showing everybody this beautiful face.
Oh God.
And what a beautiful sight that he's sitting at. Mr. Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy. Tampa Bay Ray, how are you, buddy? Well, maybe not
Some-
the beautiful face. The beautiful view looks really good.
Yeah, beautiful face. I'm good, guys. I'm Jacob. What, baseball still going on? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot.
Ray, what do you think of that? The New York Yankees. I understand. I mean, look, they're passionate fans. They're not Philly fans. Okay, and
No,
Philadelphia fans
you
are the
will
worst in the world.
We'll never get to that. Listen,
Okay.
I love Philly fans. I know they're
stop.
the worst, and they're the worst in sports, but they're also the best in sports.
My question is to Ray. I want to direct it to him. Do you agree that they should be booing one of the best baseball players ever to put on a uniform, and Mr. Aaron Judge? I'd love to hear your comment on it.
What, you mean the Cleveland Guardian fans at Cleveland in Cleveland? Is that what you're saying?
No, the New York fans were booing him.
Because he started off so here, guys, don't forget, I'm sure Jacob already talked about this, what an exhausting, down the finish here, exhausting overtaking Roger Maris with 62 home runs to now have that official American League record. And also Cleveland, hats off to their pitching staff. They're pitching to him, they're not pitching around him. And he was exhausted, but should he be getting booed? No. But I mean, anything these days, everybody's just so matter of fact. Like right now, it's like, I don't think it's long-term meaning. I still think they'd like to see him. I think that New York fan might be a little worried that Aaron Judge isn't a Yankee in 2023.
Yeah, that is one thing that I would be concerned with. And you know what? If I was Aaron Judge, nothing personal.
You go to LA?
I'd leave. I'd go to anywhere.
We go to the Dodgers.
I really
Dodgers
would.
have the
I
most
would-
money. I
no,
mean, they have the most
I'd
to gain at this point.
I don't think it's about money with Aaron Judge. Your man has already gotten paid.
Well,
I
if
honestly-
it wasn't about money, then he would have already re-signed with the New York Yankees.
no,
Yeah.
why would you? When you're treating him like a piece of dog, you know what?
Well,
Come on.
No. Here's the thing: if I'm Aaron Judge, and if I'm looking at it as a non-biased fan, and it's tough because obviously I want Judgy back. Like he's my favorite player on the team. I want him back on the Yankees. But if I'm Judge, you look at what Aaron Boone has done as the manager of this team. He's been an atrocious manager, especially in the playoffs. He has not putting in Clay Holmes last night, not putting in your closer last night in a playoff game. It's like, how do you even think of that? Aaron Boone has been a terrible manager. He has been awful this year. Not putting Peraza on the roster on the ALDS roster. The way he's handled this pitching rotation, it's been bad. It's been really bad. And if I'm Judge, listen, if I have a chance to go out to a team like San Francisco and get paid the money I want to get paid and be on an up and coming team, why would I not do that? Why would I not do that?
And you're a diehard New York fan. One last question for you regarding baseball. We're going to get over it. Yes or no? Do the Yankees come out of this victorious?
No, they're not going to.
They're not going to.
They're not going to because of Aaron Boone. They're not, because he can't handle this, and this pitching, this bullpen is not. They're just not great.
Ray, do you agree?
Yeah, and I also like Jacob touched on there. By the way, Jacob, good to see you, brother. And Aaron Judge grew up a Giants fan, and if anything, just to wrap it back around and put a little bookend on the other side, is if they're booing him in New York and the power pressure that is, he gets Maris's record, and if he thinks that now in 2023 he's going to be held to that standard, and then when he's not or he doesn't show up in the playoffs, he's going to get booed, and if the money comes out equal, and having grown up a Giants fan, then I think that's probably where we see Aaron Judge in 2023.
But to be fair, right? If the Mets don't get DeGrom back, if DeGrom is not a Met next year, which is certainly it's unlikely, but it's certainly possible.
Jacob DeGrom.
Is Steve Cohen not going to open up his pocket out of rage and be like, "Here's $1 trillion," and he's going to throw it at Aaron Judge and say, "Go play right field"? I can't. He's absolutely going to make him an offer. And if Aaron Judge, who already has a wife and he's starting a family, does he want to now make the move to San Francisco, or does he want to stay living in his home and just play in Queens now?
Bro, I told you guys I wasn't going to talk about it this much. Aaron Judge is going to go to a state that doesn't have to pay 2/3 of his money back in taxes. Are you kidding me? I just got done telling everybody what I just experienced up there in this ridiculous.
He's going to go play for the Marlins, Harry. He's going to go.
I mean,
no. He's not playing for the Rays. I would be shocked.
Maybe he'll go play football. He'll go play for
Rays.
he make
Jacksonville.
more money than the entire Rays organization.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, it's just we're going to talk about something else. I mean,
Cheap
I'm
ownership.
sorry about what's happening to your Yankees, to be honest with you. But you either love the Yankees or you hate them. It's just as real as simple as that.
Are they down 2-1 now?
Yeah,
They're down 2-1.
Oh yeah, that's over.
But I'll tell you who is up 2-1. and that's the San Diego Padres.
Well, they
they
closed
won
out
the
the
series,
series
man.
last night. The
They won the
Dodgers are
series.
done.
That's right. No, what am I talking about? They're done. That's right.
Yes.
The Dodgers are done.
The Padres have moved on. They're
That's
going
right.
to face the
They're
Philadelphia
playing-
Phillies.
they're
And
facing Philly.
if you had the Phillies and the
I-
Padres in your pool, then I don't know I don't know how much money you
I-
made on that,
I
because
said
everybody
that-
was thinking. Well, listen, everybody was thinking it was going to be the Braves and of course the Dodgers.
I
with
never said the
111
Braves.
wins.
I honestly thought that the Mets had a really big chance. That pitching staff was unreal, but they just couldn't put it all together. The
No
San
heart.
Diego team is something special, guys.
Well, they are, and I think that's the team right now to beat, in my opinion. Padres.
My
Crazy
World
as it
Series
sounds.
pick, my World Series, I call them my 2019 Nationals pick every year. That's been my thing to go to, because that wild card team that gets hot. I'm telling you, man, the Phillies are playing dangerous baseball right now. They could absolutely walk in and beat the Padres. Absolutely.
way.
I think they're
Zero.
good enough.
I
think
like the
they're good enough.
Padres, and I like the Astros in the World Series, and I like the Padres to win it this year.
Ooh,
that?
prediction, Ray.
Hmm?
I just hate the Astros. I'm glad the Dodgers are out. I hate the teams that are supposed to win are there. I mean, we get it. Oh, your team's supposed to win. They came through. I love it mixing up a little bit. And I'll say this as a Rays fan. The Rays didn't have the heart or the bats at the end of the season there and into the playoffs. And as far as a story like Cleveland Guardians, no offense, Jacob, or a story like those, coming on Phillies or the Padres without Tatis and still doing it, which they kind of should have been anyway. They got a pretty good roster. That'll get me interested back into this baseball playoffs. That'll get me playoffs.
Yeah.
That'll get me
Playoffs.
All right. Well, we're done with baseball. I got to go to the comments. We're going to hit right into the football segment of the thing. Troy Polamalu says,
First.
Troy
At what?
Polamalu says, hashtag fire Jenna Lane. She's a disgraceful brat. That's about,
Yeah, I'm not going to even touch on that at that point.
Well, you
She
can't. I
she is a close personal friend. I actually started out with radio with her, so we're not going to touch that. But she's paid to ask questions. If you guys are offended by that, I don't know what to tell you.
wow. Ray, you got any comment on Troy's
Sorry.
comment?
Other than I think Jen does a good job. I like Jen, and I'll just say this: that
I
if
think
you
she's
think,
cute.
yeah,
I
if
really
She does
do.
she does a great job with the ESPN, and I know
She
she's
is.
become
Yes.
under fire this week with the questions with Todd Bowles, and I don't know what to think about
they were
it,
good
honestly.
questions, they were
I mean,
applicable. You're talking
There
about.
was nothing wrong with the questions. Jacob, are you familiar with the situation?
I'm not.
Okay, that's cool. We'll move on to the next one. Troy says, here's a genius idea. Why don't the Bears switch Justina to running back, wide receiver, or punt returner, since he likes scrambling with the ball so much? Troy, that's very
Well, here's
a
the
very
thing.
accurate statement.
He wants to talk about
how about if they
Justin
just go out
Fields
and get a different
scrambling.
quarterback?
Well, how about you just build you build a scheme around this guy, much like what the Baltimore Ravens have done with Lamar Jackson? Why do they continue to want him to stay in the pocket and take hits? That's what I don't understand. I'm not even a Bears fan, and I can tell you right now, they're not doing right by this kid. I told you over and over again that he was going to fail because this organization has set him up to fail. And everybody's acting surprised that he doesn't have the success in the National Football League. Well, he hasn't been given the opportunity to succeed with this team because they put nothing around him. The offensive line is young. The wide receivers are unproven. And at the end of the day, when you have a kid going out there and taking the hits he's taking, eventually he's going to start to see ghosts. You know what that's all about. Mentally and physically, you've got to get this kid right. You've got to build around him if you want to build around him. And it doesn't seem like right now, throughout the whole process, that the Chicago Bears want to build around this kid. It makes no sense, and it's where quarterbacks go to die. And this is the reason, because of the organization.
Jacob.
I'll be honest. Peter, I agree with you. They've done a terrible job drafting, and they've done a terrible job helping him out, getting guys to play in Chicago. But you watch Justin Fields play, and we've watched him play now a little bit more than a season. He's missing some really easy throws. He is.
Like the game-winning one in the end zone for a 5-yard throw.
Well, to me, you missed the tight end there. You're talking about the first half. That could be a
No,
touchdown.
second half. I'm talking about the third.
Well, he
second to the last play of the
probably
game.
missed 3 touchdown passes,
Yeah.
easy ones. But
Right.
I think the reality is, and Peter, this feels like the same narrative from way back when we were talking about Sam Darnold on the Jets.
Correct.
They've done a terrible job. They did a terrible job with his offensive line. They did a terrible job with planning a scheme around him and towards his talent. I just don't think, and I know this is a Chicago platform, and everyone's gonna get mad at me. I just don't think Justin Fields is that good. I really don't.
You know what? That's a great opinion. I'm glad you expressed it. Ray,
I think
what do you
he's not an NFL level quarterback right now.
I think because of what Harry will talk about, the hitch in his giddy up, the like Jameis with the pitch it used to be, with the taking that extra second and a half. Also, they're in a race to get out to the racetrack and start a new stadium. Are they building a dome? The mayor's going to offer this. They've got $160 gazillion in cap room next year. It's hard to say no. We're not looking past this team, or we're not looking past this season. But there's a lot of things in this Chicago Bears organization that says, hey, a lot of great stuff is coming real soon, and that kind of tends to let the 53 guys in there, they're just like you, me, human at the end of the day. They're getting paid a king's ransom to play a kid's game, but they realize, well, we'll have a good draft pick and we're going to get out to the horse stables and whatever's going on here. So I think it's hard. I think Justin Fields, I think he showed me at Ohio State enough that he is a NFL quarterback. I just hope he gets the chance to do it here. Got to get rid of that hitch.
I'm
Well,
so
it's not just a
tired of-
hitch.
Let
It's
Jacob talk
yeah.
just for a second. Go ahead,
I'm
Jacob.
so tired because great. So let's say the Bears they lose however many games and they get the number 1 draft pick next year. Who cares, right? You get one good player. You're gonna get one good player. The rest of your team is in shambles, right? Like you can't get guys to play in Chicago because it's gonna be like the same thing with Lamar, where they're gonna keep having him scramble, they keep having him do this. Receivers don't want to play. Their receivers want to catch the ball. They want opportunities because they want to get paid.
But
And
you know what, Jacob, I got to cut you off. That isn't the only reason, and I'm glad we really brought this up. So far, I've been Team Jacob when he says that, and a little bit on Team Pete, and of course, I'm also Team Ray because I can see the glass half full.
Why don't you pick a team?
Let me. I can't.
Pete.
But let me explain something
Little
to you.
Pete.
Listen,
Shut up, Ray.
you have to blame the previous regimes. They have put this team in a position where they don't have the draft capital to make correct draft. I'm not going to say they drafted bad this past year. Brisker,
they
stud.
drafted
Gordon,
inefficiently, Harry. Inefficiently. I'll say.
Gordon on defense as a corner, he's going to be really good. He's just getting really picked on because he's playing a lot in the slot. Look, this secondary is average to above average. Their linebacker play is horrendous with the exception of Roquan Smith. The front four, I don't know what else you're trying to expect, but they are playing competitive. On the offensive side of the ball, he's running for his life 50% of the time. Now, this is where it becomes a coaching issue. FYI, Luke Getsy, hear me out. You cannot call plays for a player that doesn't fit in your system.
Correct.
You must
Thank
call
you.
plays
Thank
for
you.
the system that the player
Thank
is
you.
accustomed to playing in.
Thank you.
He's running for his life, and they're not even design plays. They have called 16 design plays for this young man. Design run plays. He's under pressure 50% of the time. You cannot pass protect. Okay, you got $100+ million in cap space next year. They're going to address it. This organization is going to give this coaching staff one more year. That's it. If they don't see a significant improvement with this quarterback next year and what they do to put talent around him, they're done. And now you're fishing for another quarterback. I don't like Justin Fields' hitch. It has been there since college. He holds on to the ball entirely way too long, but he does throw a very pretty deep pass. But you have to learn that a 5-yard pass out in the flat, wide open wide receiver,
Got to hit it.
you got to hit it.
Got to hit it.
3 times in the 5-yard line, and you don't put the ball in one time. Not once.
But
Yeah,
to be
saying.
fair about it, though, you're at the goal line. I don't understand the play calling. You got a mobile quarterback. Let's go run read option at that point with the mobile quarterback, and they don't explore that
they
possibility.
ran the RPO 3 times with an RPO quarterback.
They run right up the middle with the running back. They did it on 4th down. I don't understand it. Put the ball in Justin Fields' hands on the read option at the goal line.
The last 3 games, they have peeled off a chunk of yardage, whether it was, first off, against Minnesota.
So then why don't they
If
do
they
it in the
don't-
red
hold
zone
on.
then?
Hold on, because the field gets shorter. Okay, Peter,
Okay.
It's a big difference. The field gets a lot shorter. The safeties are closer up to the line of scrimmage. You're not 15 yards back. Against the Minnesota Vikings, they could have beat them if they didn't call for that phantom holding when he ran 55 yards and scrambled for a touchdown.
Right.
It would have made every highlight on ESPN, but it didn't because it was called by a BS flag.
Correct.
Chicago loses.
Right.
Last week,
Which has been a
When-
plague in the
hold
National
on.
Football League, by the way.
and this past Thursday, when they're playing the Washington Commanders, whatever the hell their name is, you can just call them the Snyders for all I care, because this team is in shambles also. This team was worse than the Bears and they won. So on any given Sunday, you can win.
Right.
Let me explain this. They appealed another play. There's been 3 consecutive plays where either the running back in Khalil Herbert and or Justin Fields have picked off mega yardage, and they didn't do it once this past week and Thursday. They did it twice, and they still couldn't put the ball in the end zone.
Explain it to me, though,
Because you
what
can't-
sense it makes to run the ball on 4th down right up the middle when you have a mobile quarterback, when you know that Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen are occupying that space in the middle. Does that make any sense at
No,
all?
it doesn't.
No, it
That's-
doesn't. That is on play calling. That's not on Justin Fields. That is
Well,
on play calling. at
And
the end of
guys,
the day.
and call it like it is. You
He
roll.
doesn't have one play. Hold on, Ray. He doesn't have one play in his headset. Okay. That's where he has to develop and understand how to read a defense. This young man is so shook up. He's got 2 or 3 plays in his headset.
Exactly.
And you have to identify and use his
That's
cadence
why
at
you
the
have
line
to
of scrimmage.
simplify the playbook with a new offense, which, by the way, it's a second new offense he's going into. So already you're stunning the growth of this young quarterback. You're not helping him out. You're not moving the pocket. You're not putting plays in there to help him out. It's almost like you want him to fail, which makes no freaking sense at all if you're a Chicago Bear fan,
I'm not-
giving up as many picks as you gave up
I'm
for
not
Fields.
giving up 100%, but I'm very close on giving up on this young man. I've never been a Justin Fields
Because
Justin
the
Fields
organization has set him up to fail.
And it's
That's
this
true.
crucial, and it's not. It's like Darnold, where Justin Fields is not going to go somewhere else and be, Patrick Mahomes, right? This is the point in his development where it's most important. And if you don't develop him in the next year, it's done. You can't get
Guys,
to that point. It's not.
This
getting
is
past that
this
point.
is the same organization that gave Mike Glennon $25 million over 17 years. This is the same organization that brings in Nick Foles to back up Trubisky. They've had quarterback issues for near decade now. And here's the thing again: if we're going to be going out to the horse, I'm a Chicago Bear fan. I'm right there with you. I want nothing but to see these black and blue, ex-black and blue division Bears doing well. But what do they have to lose? And if you get rid of the coach again, Harry, next year, unless this thing completely implodes and you have like a situation like you had there in Jacksonville, I honestly, when are you going to give a coach 3 years? I truly believe that this could be the coaching staff to turn it around. And I think that Fields is your guy. But you're right. They're not calling anything to help this kid out at the moment. And that's what really disturbs me.
When Eberflus first went to Chicago, I was very
Shocked.
I was not just shocked, but I was optimistic because I heard so many good things about him. But then again, you're going to hear about every good coach they came in. Shit,
Sure.
man. They said that about Trestman.
Of
okay?
course.
Okay, come on, give me a break.
The highlights.
Okay.
They have the highlights of them,
let me,
right?
But let me be very clear and concise when I make this statement. I am quickly changing my mind on the way he is coaching because he is allowing his offensive coordinator and as well as his defensive coordinator continue to make those type of calls.
Mm-hmm.
They're not developing a game plan around the talent that they have. The end. Move on to the next game. Tampa Bay at Pittsburgh. Guys, I want to talk about this for a second. Tampa Bay is a 10-point favorite against the Trubisky-less Pittsburgh Steelers. The
Yes.
total's 46 points. So before everybody jumps on this soapbox and they start talking about how Tampa's going to completely destroy this team, because we've seen how 10-point favorites on the road always look, and how the Tampa Bay's defense is going to start feeding again. Let me make one thing really clear. This team averaged 30 points a game last year on offense. They've hit it once this year.
Correct.
One time.
Correct.
And when you're still passing the ball 45 and 50 times and you still haven't hit 30 points, you got a problem. And that problem is very similar to what the Chicago Bears have. And it's not a quarterback play, gentlemen. It's bad offensive line play. How does Tampa Bay fix this today, and how do they cover that 10 points? Or Ray, Jacob, or Pete, do you like Pittsburgh to cover the 10 points? Ray, I'm going to let you take it.
Nope, Buccaneers are going to cover this. Usually I'm not the kind of person that likes to say they covered the 10, take them on the money, whatever. And it's not that I'm trying to just poo-poo down this Steelers team. The truth of the matter is they're in deep restructure rebuilding with Fitzpatrick out and of course Watt injured. They're plugging holes everywhere, and the Bucs are finally coming out and starting to get right. Although I don't know what get right means as far as from an injury standpoint and such in this day and age. But I see the Bucs having no trouble covering the 10. Now it's not going to be a runaway 73-3 or anything by that nature, but the Buccaneers I see them definitely covering 10 points today. They're in Heinz Field, whatever they call it
Jacob.
now.
Yeah. The Buccaneers have not been impressive so far. I mean, you watch them; they're not as dominant as they have been the last 2 years. But the Steelers are down T.J. Watt, Nick Fitzpatrick, Sutton. A bunch of these guys. They're not healthy. Their offense isn't there. The Bucks should absolutely cover this. I don't like them necessarily -10 because I mean you can get. I like the alternate -6.5. That's -172. I think that's good value still on the Bucks.
Yep. Ray, by the way, I muted your mic just for a second because the wind was starting to come in. So every once in a while, if you see it muted, I'm not picking on you or anything. Okay.
10-4. It stopped now, but yeah, it was windy.
I know.
there
I
for a
see
minute.
that. Peter?
Yeah, you got to like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to cover in this game. And I'll tell you why. There's a lot of motivation here. Tom Brady not only fined $11,000 for trying to kick Grady Jarrett, but on top of it, supposedly the big time story is he missed a Saturday walkthrough. Big deal. You don't have Mika Fitzpatrick in this game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You also are missing 2 back-end guys. To me, Tampa Bay should win big, and they will win big with Chris Godwin in his homecoming. Look for him to be the impact player of this team. And again, a lot of people are saying they're not as dominant as they were. Look, the Bucs weren't as dominant when they were 7-5 in that Super Bowl year, but that second half of the year, and that's what they're basically banking on. They've had lots of injuries to the offensive line, lots of injuries to the wide receiving room. Look for them to sign OBJ here in the next couple of weeks. Look for Gronk to come back, and everybody to forget about this slow start by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Book it.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in a little bit of trouble in this game, not from a standpoint that they're going to lose, but from a standpoint that if they continue to try to pass the ball the way they have the past couple of weeks, this defense is going to get after them, even without having T.J. Watt in here. They will overload that left side, and I'm telling you, his blind side is going to get hurt a little bit in his backside. Also, nobody's talking about the fact, the elephant in the room, that the Giselle has taken the witchcraft away. And that's not a joke, okay? The woman has had multiple times where she has put these spells on her great husband. And yes, I'm saying that with a little bit of Ray's going through the camera going, is he being serious?
No, you
Right.
know, I know. I got your back on this one.
It's
I
going to be
know it.
motivation
But listen,
for
man,
me.
this is going to be sitting on the back of Tom's brain. Okay? It is. She's already done with it. She publicly said, there is no more for you. I'm taking it all back. That's what she's doing. Okay? Listen, don't pass the ball 50 times in this game. You're not going to need to. Your defense is going to play strong enough. But I will tell you what I do like. I do not like the -10. I do like the under 46. So takes out to the bank.
Hey,
Well,
can I
I'll
get-
tell you right
I
now,
can-
even Devin White admitted last week that they basically let the foot off the pedal with saying that, you know, the defense got bored. You have to play 60-minute game. Pittsburgh is a team you should beat and beat easily with a rookie quarterback. When you went with him as a rookie quarterback, your team, your season is over, in my opinion. So you have to play 60 minutes
Tampa
of
let me tell you
football.
something.
They should have won that game easily versus the Atlanta Falcons. They let them back in the
If for
game.
some reason they put Trubisky in this game, you can say what you want. This Tampa team has struggled mightily against a Mitch Trubisky for some reason.
Hey, Harry.
Don't ask me why. They have struggled mightily. He looked like Fran Tarkenton against this team, not once but twice.
Yes,
Okay.
a couple
And
years
it's
ago
ridiculous.
with
Moving
6
on.
touchdowns in the
Yep.
first half or
Yep.
something.
Yeah, I like
Ridiculous.
the under Harry though. I also like the
I
under.
like the under as well.
My pick.
This is a very intriguing game. Jacob, we're going to start with you. Cincinnati -3 at the New Orleans Saints. Totals 43.5. Who do you like and why, or do you want to go to Texas?
I like the Bengals. I think that people are really underestimating this Bengals game plan coming into this game. They've been slowly over the course of the first 5 weeks, 6 weeks. They've been running the ball more and more, and this has been the key to the success. And they give it to make it, leave Zach Taylor to make this Bengals offense with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon very boring to watch. But if they have this same game plan that they've had the last couple of weeks, they should have. They could have beat the Ravens last week. This Saints team starting Andy Dalton, Andy Dalton's been fine, but I think the Bengals come in, they pass maybe a little bit more than they have been. The offense looks a little bit more explosive, and they really just end up outscoring the Saints.
Great points, right? Any
New Orleans.
suggestions?
New Orleans is tough at home. Their secondary is one of their strengths. They're going to put pressure on Burrow. And you said it's at New Orleans, and Cincinnati was favored by what?
3.
I like New Orleans to cover. I don't know if they win outright, but I like them to cover that 3. It's going to be a tight game. I think the New Orleans Saints defense is the best part of this team. They're going to give the Cincinnati Bengals a hard time.
Right? I'm not right, Peter?
Yeah, Andy Dalton versus his former team, right? Some
Yes,
revenge factor, if you
Oh.
will.
I forgot about that.
That's why I am where I am.
I'm going to make this quick.
Take-
and
Yes,
simple.
I think I go to
This is-
Texas on this.
This is my fifth best game of the week. New Orleans on the money line. Don't even bother taking them on the points.
Really?
The defense is
Oh.
going to create 3 turnovers in this game. Jamar Chase is going to get put down on lockdown, and they will get to one of the poorest offensive lines in all of football, and they will sack him. Are you ready? 6 times in this game.
Wow.
Joe Burrow's in a
Oh.
lot of trouble in this game. Go ahead and take
I
New
li-
A
Orleans.
lot
I
of
really
confidence
like
though in
the
Andy
Bengals.
Dalton without a Michael
It's
Thomas.
not.
I'd take
And
Taysom
then remember,
Hill.
Joe Burrow is also coming back to his home field there with going back to
Oh,
New
yeah,
Orleans,
come back to
LSU,
the
and then of
site.
course Jamar Chase. What's the possibility of Burrow and Chase showing out?
There's a reason why this game is only 43
The
and a half
Saints.
points.
So
ladies
Harry,
and
with
gentlemen.
so you're going to take the Saints without Jameis Winston, without Chris
I'll take
Olave, Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry.
Taysom Hill. Let him run the ball
Did
53
you not
times.
hear what did you not hear? First off, it's a trap game. Why is Cincinnati only 3-point favorite if all these injuries have occurred? The strength of this New Orleans team are 2 things. You're at home, number 1, and number 2, this defense is playing
And it's
lights
out.
out. Top 3 defenses in all of football, period.
I really like the Bengals, but we'll see. We'll agree to disagree.
You
on
get.
that
Let me tell you something. You are absolutely correct. They have to create 3 turnovers, Jacob, and I'm counting on a very short field. This game, I'm telling you, is probably going to go under. If this
Oh, yeah.
was last year's team, with Jameis Winston at the helm prior to him getting injured, this grand total would be one of the highest totals in football. It'd be 54 to 56 points. It is 43 and a half. There's a reason for it. There's a reason
Wow.
why Cincinnati is only 3 points. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a trap game. For all the reasons that Jacob actually brought in because of the injuries, that's all the more to even bet more than New Orleans Saints. If you cannot bet New Orleans in this game, don't bother betting. Even if they get back, because I've been doing this for 50 plus years. It is a trap game. Next game, Jacksonville at Indianapolis. Indianapolis is a 2-point favorite. 41 and a half is the total on this. It's another very low. Running game for Indianapolis has been literally non-existent. The defense is still playing lights out. But you know what? Indianapolis organization is a proven fact that you cannot take a seasoned veteran quarterback, as Peter alluded to a conversation yesterday or the day before, and just plug them in and automatically think that you're going to become a Super Bowl contender. I was wrong about that. Peter, you were absolutely correct about it. Ray, who do you like in this game? You think Indy's going to cover the 2, or does Jacksonville cover the 2, or do you like the over and under 41 and a half?
Oh, I like the under. I think that Indy's going to cover it. I don't think it's going to be they're going to all of a sudden find their offensive swag, but I think that, they're going to finally put enough together. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, although there are some strengths there, they're not that runaway team yet in the AFC South that I can say, oh, they take this one handily, especially at Indy.
Yeah, that's a good point. Jacob?
Was there a point?
I'll go. I'm not gonna. I don't like either side of this line, but
Texas?
there's been a trend on divisional unders, so I'm gonna go with that.
You know what? I actually kind of like that as well. Peter?
Yeah, and Jacksonville last year, of course, they took out the Colts from going to the playoffs. All they have to do is win that game at the end of the day. You're pulling me closer, so that's nice. I like that. I'm going to go to Texas on this. I do think it's going to be under.
I'm going to go out on a little bit of a limb. I'm going to kind of take very small position with Indy minus the 2 points. I do think that Matt Ryan gets it right. I'm not a big believer in this Jacksonville defense. I do love the quarterback play coming out of Jacksonville lately. I've been very critical of that young man. I said everybody that he would not be the quarterback coming out of the draft.
Well, it's amazing when you have
Everybody
a decent coaching staff instead of Urban Meyer, which you couldn't get any worse than that.
But
So it's amazing how that works out.
I
Led
like
by a
Indy
very
minus-
impressive run game. He's been led by a very impressive run game. At what
Sure.
point, though, do we after? I'm sure we'll talk about him in either the next game or in the next few games. But at what point do we start actually talking about Zach Wilson as the best quarterback from that draft class?
Oh,
we're not
there
done
it
there yet.
is.
We're not there
There
yet,
it
sir.
is.
We're not there yet because
But
there's a
let me
couple of
ask
them
you
I'd like
this.
to talk
I'm
about.
not ready to say that yet. He hasn't
Hey, let me
shown
ask-
me enough. He hasn't given me enough of a body of work.
He's in the
but-
conversation because he's certainly doing.
Ooh.
He's definitely. If you want to put Trevor here, Zach's 2-0. He's come back in now 2 games. He came back against the Steelers and
Mhm.
on the road, and he beat Miami. He's 2-0 as the starting quarterback of the Jets. And listen, he's been efficient. I don't think Trevor has been impressive enough to put him that far ahead of Zach. I don't think. Obviously Trey Lance hasn't done anything. Davis Mills has been mediocre to less than mediocre this year. I don't know. I think that it's just I think that's definitely a conversation that we could start having at the end of this year.
That's a very, very, very fair statement. I think you're jumping the gun a little bit. Let's move on to New England and Cleveland. Cleveland's a 2.5 point favorite, totals 43 points.
Oh, Texas. I'm not even. I don't want to touch this
Ray,
game. It's
Texas,
disgusting.
Peter,
Texas.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Who cares?
2.5 point favorites. Total
That
43.
feels
Well, what's the
like
rule?
anything?
Does the rule apply there with this?
I know.
No, that's not the home team.
Okay.
It's the road team.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, it's the road team if they're favored by 2.5 points. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go to El Paso.
El Paso.
Next game.
That's a gross game.
that's it. Yeah.
The better team in the New York area, the Jets, are at the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay's favored by 8. The total's 44.5.
Is it
Before anybody makes a comment, I'm going to let Jacob go last on this one.
All right.
People don't realize that the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers, and everybody's going to say, well, Aaron Rodgers, great deep ball, wants to push the ball downfield. Did you know over 30% of his passes, and it's by far, he throws the ball behind the line of scrimmage more than anybody in football?
Yeah, I believe it.
How about that one?
I believe it.
Over 30% of the times.
That's what happens when you don't have Devontae Adams. That's what happens.
But 30% of the times, the Green Bay Packers are throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage. Ray, 8-point favorites. Do they get it done against the Jets? And mind you, they never lost 2 in a row with LaFleur and Rodgers.
They do
Yeah.
now, coming off that loss against the Giants over in England. And I always like the Robert Saleh story. And I think that this defense is starting to play some inspired football. From that, going in straight up, if it was the Green Bay Packers of 2021 or 20, when Aaron was still he was right up there in contention for, NFL MVP of the year, which this season so far he's not very lead. Neither is Tom Brady. But I like the Jets story. I like him to cover this. I'd like to say I'd like him to take it straight out, but I'll take the money to cover for sure.
Got it. I'm not going to you next. Peter,
Yes.
what do you like here?
I'm going with the Packers on this. I'm still not
Minus
convinced with the Jets. Yeah.
Okay. Why? Give me a reason.
Well, like you said, I mean, losing 2 in a row, I like the story of the Jets, but still, the Packers, they have to win this game, in my opinion. I don't think the Jets are there yet, offensively or defensively. I have to see more of a body of work from Zach Wilson to be convinced.
Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the New York Jets. That's right. Just let it roll off your tongue.
Jets, just end the season.
Jesus, will you shut up? Just end the season.
Sorry.
Jets.
They're playing well. They're playing well. I give him
Listen.
that. Yes.
They've been doing it with Joe friggin' Flacco.
Yes.
And they did it with a running game.
Mhm.
They did it with a revamped defense that looked atrocious last year, who now has year number 2, and they've added a couple of very key components with Saucy in the back end.
Sure.
Okay.
Sauce.
And
Sauce.
I like calling him Saucy because
What?
let me tell you something.
What?
Anyway,
Wait, what?
this team has been playing lights out. You better pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. This team is here to stay. I predicted it before the season started. Are they as good as a healthy Miami Dolphin team? No. Are they as healthy? Are they as good against a Buffalo Bills team? No.
Mm.
But can they be competitive?
Yes.
And if they played 10 times, let me tell you something. The Jets would beat them 4 times out of 10. That's just under 50%. That's how good this New York Jet team is. And no, he's not the best drafted quarterback in this class. He can develop to be the best quarterback in this class. I don't think Robert Saleh is going to continue to bank on this kid's arm. And if he does, they're not going to go very many places. That running game
yes.
that they have
That's
right
the
now,
key right
and the
there.
way they're blocking, and
Mm.
especially losing, if I'm not mistaken, that mammoth of a guy by the name of Mekhi Becton, I believe
Correct.
is what his name is.
Very good.
But they have
Overrated.
pieces in every single position to be able to play. Their special teams play has been extraordinary this year as well.
Jacob, he's
Now, let me-
torturing you. He's torturing you, Jacob.
Now, let
Jacob's
me
like,
tell you a
"I just
little bit
wanna
about
talk."
Green Bay. Their defensive line,
Pretty good.
extraordinary. It ain't going to make a difference in this game. My game of the week.
Are they?
You take the New York Jets plus the 8 with a small position of actually winning the football game. The Green Bay Packers, if they are forced to continue to throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage to the tight ends and the running backs, the New York Jets will feast on this team. They will expose this defense in the middle of the field. That I will tell you.
Okay.
It's very mediocre play by the middle linebacker positions from the game tape that I've been watching.
Hey, Peter.
That's where Aaron Rodgers can go ahead and play. But if they continue to throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, this favors New York all day long. Jacob,
Hey, Pete,
go for
is
it.
Jacob, can I ask you, is Jordan Whitehead healthy right now still? Of course, he's a
Yes.
free agent. You sign him.
So yes,
So let them throw them bubble screens behind a line, and you see Jordan Whitehead, like he did here in Tampa Bay, filling that gap and making those receivers hurt. Sorry.
and
go ahead,
him and Quan Alexander, you got to give a lot of credit to because Quan has been
yes.
doing that same thing really well. So I'll start with this. The Jets match up really well against the Packers when you look at strengths and weaknesses. Saquon just feasted on this Packers defense, and this defensive line, which you said was good, I think they're a bit overrated. They're in the bottom half of the league against the run. And the Jets are going to run the ball. They're going to give it to Breece Hall. They're going to give it to Michael Carter. They're going to let these guys work. This offensive line, even without Mekhi Becton, having Dwayne Brown back and filling in and moving Elijah Vera Tucker all over the place. And he is the most underrated offensive lineman in the NFL right now. He can play literally 4 out of the 5 positions on the offensive line, and he has proved it this year already in the first 5 weeks, which is ridiculous. The only thing I'm worried about with the Packers is their run game. If Aaron Rodgers decides to be a game manager and not try to, do too much.
He's been a game manager the entire season. Let me repeat it. He's throwing the ball 30%. Listen, when you throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage 30% of the time, that's just a little extension of the run game. That's it.
They don't have the receivers to throw it past the line of
Correct.
scrimmage.
There you go. They don't have the deep threat
to do it. These guys aren't
Right.
getting open. And if you think
Correct.
that these rookies, Dobbs, Watson isn't playing today, but Dobbs, Lazard, he's good, but he's not great. And you have Cobb and all these washed up Cobb. If you think they're going to be able to get open against Sauce
The
and
best
DJ Reed,
receiver.
literally
Solid.
statistically,
Yo, Jacob,
statistically,
though.
the best cornerback duo in the NFL right now.
Yeah, but Jacob, you couldn't.
Like, they are the best right now. I think that this Jets team, not only they will cover the 7, they will cover the 8, and they have a real chance at winning this game. It's going to come down to how the Jets can manage the clock at the end. They have been atrocious at the end of the half and at the beginning of the second half.
Hey,
That
let
is
me just say this. Finish with this though, Jacob. I got you, but man, put 9 in the box and try to rely on Aaron Rodgers throwing it, and then he will pick you apart with those deep looks. And I know they. So
absolutely.
yeah, you got to make sure you play it lockdown. I mean, don't try to cover that run and keep them from getting a running game going. But therein lies the whole principle, the thing behind today's game. If you put too many in the box, or you try to rely on just those bubble screens, as Harry the Greek mentions, and you leave the secondary open, then these guys now 7 weeks, 8 weeks together. Now they've got the timing down, and they will take you long. And we don't want to turn it to that.
The Jets don't blitz. The Jets don't blitz. They'll send 4 guys, right?
And that,
it's
my
just
friend,
pretty
is why
long.
a defense is so good, because when you can
These
get
guys will
pressure
get
with
to
a
the
4-man
quarterback.
Correct.
They'll get to the quarterback.
And if
Whoa.
this game were in New York or New Jersey, for this matter, I would say the Jets could win this game. But because it's at Lambeau, and because, like Harry said, you
I'll
don't
say
lose 2 in a row, I like the Packers. But in a close one, it's a lot closer.
I hate to break the news to everybody. Records are meant to be broken, Mr. Aaron Judge.
Yes.
Okay.
The real record holder, by the way, not Barry Bonds, not Sammy Sosa, not Mark McGuire. Let's get
Just
that out of
remember
the
what
way.
I'm saying. 30%
Cheaters.
of the times they're throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage. I'm going to continue to keep standing on that soapbox. Green Bay, how does it feel?
If
That's all
Green Bay
I'm gonna
loses,
say.
if Green Bay loses today, can we finally say that they're no longer just the Guardians of the North, and this is a wide open division, and even
Yeah.
the 2 and 3 or 4 Bears could? I don't
You're
know.
not kidding. They can.
know?
But you know what? Let me go ahead and just put this other narrative to bed about this game. It is very easy to take the sexy pick. Okay? It's very difficult to take a pick when you're not an underdog. The Jets are a huge underdog in this game. It's so difficult to do that because the general public all think the Jets have no chance in this game, and they very well may not have it.
Mm-hmm.
But they passed the eye test the last 3 weeks for me.
They
game.
They're not going to get blown out in this game. There is no shot.
The Baltimore Ravens are playing. I can't believe I'm saying this, to a 1-loss New York Giant team.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore's a 5.5-point road favorite. The total's 45.5. My question is, I don't care about who you like. How is the New York Giants defense going to be able to slow down Lamar Jackson? Jacob.
Oh, I don't know if they will. I don't listen. This game for me, it feels like I don't even know. I can't even say a trap game. I'm staying so far away from this that it's not even funny, because I think that there's a real shot that the Ravens come into MetLife and the Giants beat them.
Maybe it's a little unfair when I didn't give you the rest of the information that I'm pretty kind of privy of. The New York Giants blitz more than anybody in the National Football League. That defense blitz over 40% of the times. And the reason for it is because they have subpar players on that defense.
Sure.
And they are going to create the pressure. Or on the other side of town, when you have the New York Jets who blitz the least amount and get pressure on a 4-man front.
Let me say this, Harry. You look,
and I understand it has something to do with coaching schemes, the whole 9 yards. But this team blitzes 40% of the times. How is Lamar Jackson going to hold up to the blitz? I'm going to tell you how he's going to hold up to it. He's going to run all over this team. And if they continue to blitz him, they're going to give up some really
Could
big
you see a
chunks.
shootout in this game with
No.
Saquon Barkley and
No.
Daniel Jones? Because credit to where credit is due. The Giants last
They
week played
played
well in London versus the Packers. Jones showed me something on a couple of those drives. And once again, Saquon Barkley is the key contributor to this because he's finally healthy.
And you know what? I'm the one who's been a Danny Dimes supporter. Jacob, you'll attest.
Well, you
to
don't
that.
turn over the ball. You're a better
Right.
team, of course.
I'll say this. Who is a big part of the NFL and coaching is adjusting and adapting.
Correct.
Greg Roman, the Baltimore offensive coordinator, has been interesting. He does not adapt, right? He has been running the same offense with Lamar for the last 4 years of his career. It has really not changed that much because, what's going to change? Wink Martindale is the Giants defensive coordinator. He was in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson for the last, since he was drafted.
40% of the times he's blitzing.
Yeah, exactly. But he will adjust against his old team. He's going to adjust.
He's going to adjust.
And I
That's
think the
a fair
big time
point.
coaching thing here is Brian Daboll. He's ready to be an NFL coach, and he's
Daboll.
shown that. That
Daboll.
has been
Listen,
that
Brian,
has been the big time, also the big time key contributor to this this Giants success, if you will, is the coaching.
listen. I'm
It's
gonna let Ray talk for a second because I got something to talk about Brian Daboll. Ray.
I think the way you beat a team that has the quarterback's the biggest position you're worrying about is you just like the Giants did against the Packers in England and old London Town last week is you keep the ball out of their hands, in your hands. You do that with Saquon Barkley and you do it with Danny Dimes also rushing around and getting those first downs. So, at the end of the day, this is still a pretty talented Baltimore team, but I think that the Giants, I think they go to 6-1. I think they do it by controlling the ball and playing.
Wow.
They're not going to blitz as much, Harry, as I think you think they will. I think they're actually going to play a little safer. Keep it in front of them. Bend, but don't break. Get the ball on your side. You make Lamar have to make those pressure plays, and then you may get him to make those mistakes.
I think the New York Giants defense is going to get exposed by Lamar Jackson this week because of the fact, and let me tell you something, leopards don't change their spots. And if you try to do it in one game, you're going to get absolutely toasted. Because now when you're playing far back on them, you're going to give up those 8 and 10-yard runs by Lamar Jackson just running out of bounds and sliding, and then catching a couple of 15-yard penalties and giving them a short field, and here comes a field goal. The other side of the flip, the flip side of this story is the Baltimore Ravens defense. Without Kyle Fuller back there, they are a little suspect right now, especially on the defensive side of it. But then again, New York really doesn't have any kind of great wide receivers. Shit, 3 of their wide receivers need to be on a milk carton because you can't find them.
Right,
Okay?
right.
This is a Saquon Barkley-led team. That front 7 for Baltimore is going to get after them. They're a 5.5-point favorite. And Brian Daboll, you better learn how to do more than a 5-man max protect. Okay? That is exactly the way you want to keep running your offense. And that is all well and good because you have Mr. Barkley. If you do not have Barkley into this backfield, Danny Dimes will be Danny on his back.
Well, to be fair, Matt Breida also came in last week when Barkley was a little bit banged up and they were still getting success. And I think the key is balance to that offense. You take the pressure off of Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, because we know that he can be a turnover machine. So
The key is
I don't
Green
know.
Bay
This
defense.
may be this to me. This could be an over just because Baltimore's defense is just not that good in the secondary.
I'm not looking at an over. They're going to concentrate on Saquon Barkley. Baltimore does a really good job at containing running backs from hitting the outside, or they do a very good job, especially from naked bootlegs.
Come.
Unlike what the Bears did, it usually works once or twice in the game, but not 11. This
I
is
think
a little bit
Daniel Jones.
Baltimore wins this game big.
I would take Daniel Jones over 75 yards rushing today. I think that you'll start that we've taught the reason why they got Dayball, who was with Allen in Buffalo, and you got a Danny Dimes. You're going to look to put an 8 in the box to stop a Saquon. I still think that Jones could be rushing around, effectively rushing and not getting hit in pocket where the hit comes to him, but going out there, putting that 6'5", 240 frame to good use. You may start seeing those reflections today. I think in that case, then we'll know the Giants are for real, and they should handily beat those Ravens today.
That is true. Anyway, I do like it. Baltimore minus 5.5. Play it. Ray, I love you, brother.
Yes, sir.
You playing with the birdie?
No, with myself. I just wanted to.
Oh my
We're going to
gosh.
get to the comments real quick, and we're going to go ahead and blow through these. Troy Polamalu says, Fields is horrible. Been saying he's a bust. I can see why. Tony Williams, good morning, brother. Thanks for tuning in. Brandon, Virgil.
By the
Senior.
way, just to go back to this comment, Fields is a bust in his second year. You've already determined a quarterback, which you usually have to give a draft pick 3 years, that he's a bust with nothing around him. Dumbass comment. Honestly, that fires me up when people say, oh, he's a bust. He's a bust after 1 year. I mean, what are the Bears or the Arizona freaking Cardinals where they're going to draft another quarterback in 2-3 years? You wonder why the Bears and other teams around the league, if they got a general manager like you saying that somebody is a bust, then we are all doomed.
You know what? That also brings it up since you brought up a good point about Arizona. You know,
What have they done?
what's his name? Josh Rosen's still out there.
Well, Kyler Murray's not doing anything great. What is he doing?
Brandon Virgil says Jacob's voice got deeper. Yeah, that's dropping.
Nice.
Jesus.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm kidding, Jacob. I'm kidding. Tony Williams says, great to see you, Jacob. I'm glad to have him on here. Troy Polamalu says, why does New Jersey smell like a sewer dump? And then they need to pick up their trash. They litter everywhere. I wouldn't say that at all.
Wow.
Let me tell you something. One of the most beautiful states.
Sounds like Troy's from New Jersey.
Let me tell you something. One of the best states and most beautiful states I've ever seen, number one, is Jersey. That shoreline is incredible. And then when you start, especially when you head into South Jersey, oh my God, it's beautiful country. It's very hills. I mean, how many people have been to Atlantic Highlands? That is just one beautiful town. And then the town of Rumson, oh my God. That's all I can tell you.
Okay.
Jacob, you've been through Rumson, haven't you?
Yeah, I think New Jersey is there's parts of it that are absolutely disgusting, but there's parts of it that are awesome, and I think
mean,
that's
absolutely
the
beautiful.
beauty of it.
Fat Mike says, "What the hell is a parkway? Do you mean a highway?" Yeah, kind of.
Yes,
That's
it
one.
is.
That's one with tolls. That's, by the way, that's 294 to you, sir.
Right.
Just with a few more lanes. Troy Polamalu says DeSantis is the best governor. Thank you for your service, Governor. I can agree with that. Fat Mike says, slow down, Harry. Judge is awesome currently. Not one of the best players ever. Slow down. I don't know.
I mean, with the year that he had this year, you could definitely put him up there.
You've got to anoint him as one of the best players ever because
I
of
say
what
you
he
anoint him
accomplished.
as the true home run king, right? For the single season. And people don't want to touch that. I don't know why.
Hump Day 391. Jacob is back live. So excited to do our back. Hump Day.
What's going on, Hump Day?
Hump Day 391 says Yankee season ended in a half-inning blown lead. Hump Day says Cohen's going to get 3/4 of the players and play 100 meters.
100
What?
100 million.
100 million. Sorry.
Yes, that's all right.
3 out of 4 players. yeah.
Christopher Cole, what's up, Chris? Thanks for tuning in. Hump Day says not paying Judge. I agree. Trey Polamalu says I just texted and blocked Jenna and told her we were no longer friends.
Okay.
Watch every NFL game live on whatever.
What was that?
Troy Polamalu says, where is Roger Shoe? That's a good question.
Yeah, where is Roger Shua? I don't know.
I can't
He's
have
sleeping.
I guess he's
controls on the
sleeping.
program.
Well, I'm telling you, that's
Troy
the tribal
Polamalu
troll.
says, my Steelers are terrible right now, but watch Sandwich struggle to put up 14 points throughout the fourth quarters. Gosh, he sucks.
Yeah, I mean, you're a big-time Byron Leftwich fan, that's for sure.
Doug Martin was a better running back than Leonard Fournette. Fournette can't even rush over 10 yards.
Yeah, okay.
Troy Polamalu says, can you tell Ray to bring me some smoked mullets?
No.
Buck time 12. Bucks are delayed snap away from 4-1 with all their issues, but Brady's shoulder injury is a big concern when he's throwing 50 times a game.
And the way they were
Hello?
playing, but to be fair, the way they were playing at the end of last week, they're one good call away from possibly losing that game. We have no idea.
Right. Exactly.
So-
With all the
so that's
injuries, with
not
having no
fair.
Julio Jones, with having Chris Godwin coming off an injury, with the reshuffling of an offensive line, and people are just, and I love it. Fans are like, well, this team should score 30, 40 points a game. Look, that's not how the NFL is. That's just not how it is. It's not Madden. Okay. You can't just score 30, 40 points a freaking game. And by the way, with Brady's injury, with supposedly his shoulder, he threw for over 350 yards. What the hell are we talking about at this point?
Still didn't score 30 points. We'll get to that a little later.
Whatever.
Andrew Faubert. Morning, gents. Just waking up. What's up? The Red Rifle.
Yes, sir.
Bucks time 12. Green Bay has the easiest schedule in the league and are struggling.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. They lost to the Giants last week, and they got taken to overtime by Bailey Damn Zappi. Are you kidding me? This Packers team is not even the best team in their own division. They're maybe not even the second best team in their own division.
Brother,
Like
neither are the Minnesota Vikings.
the Vikings are the best team in that NFC.
Really?
Right?
Not
Right?
from
In
what
the-
I
in the
watched.
North,
You let the Chicago team. They
it's
should
a
have
low
won.
bar. It's
By
a
the
low
way, I
bar.
want to ask you
It's a low
something.
bar.
Because I
Bears
know
should
you're,
have beat the Minnesota that game.
did Minnesota beat Green Bay earlier this year?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. But again, NFL stands for what? No frigging logic.
Right. No friggin' logic, but also not for long. So maybe the Packers' reign as being the NFC North
Yeah.
champs could be
Here's what
over.
I'm saying.
Everyone
Everyone
says Jacob Howes
not for long.
College.
It's good. And everyone wanted to say this not for long thing. You're right, Peter, because you look at the Lions. This is a great example. The Lions, first couple weeks of the season, they're scoring, 80,000 points and losing. But then they get, and everyone's like, oh, the Lions, they're right there. They're right there. They're right there. And then they get shut out by the Patriots, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, same old Lions. They suck. Lions suck. Lions suck.
Right.
Pick a side. Come on. Like, this is.
Moving on to the next game.
Well, you can't pick a side with the Lions. They're the Lions.
Yeah.
We got
They're
to
the Lions.
We
Well,
gotta-
what do you expect? They tease you. They show you, 1 week they can score lots of points and their defense can give up lots of points. But you still got friggin' who do you
They're
got
gonna
at the
play
controls
pretty
there? Jared Goff. Jared Goff is your quarterback. That's the reason why you stink.
Golf?
Okay,
No,
guys,
I
we need
think
to
Golf
move
has
on.
played okay. Golf has played better than I thought he would. Not last week, but he's played better than I thought he would. That defense
Goff is what he is. He's
embarrassing.
a mediocre quarterback.
Minnesota Vikings.
You're right.
-3 at the Miami Dolphins. Jacob, who do you like and why?
You're going to tell me it's a trap game. I still like the Vikings. I watched Skylar Thompson, and this Dolphins team get absolutely killed. Tyreek Hill's not 100%. I don't care. I'm taking the Vikings -3. I like the pick.
Right.
Yeah, same. Vikings plus the 3.
No, Vikings -3. They're favorite to win by 3 or more. You still like them?
No, I like them to cover this game. I mean,
Perfect,
it's just
Peter.
they got a good team.
Yeah, I still like the Vikings in this game. Too many injuries to the Miami Dolphins at this juncture.
I guess
And
I'm gonna
here
be the
we
lone
go.
wolf.
Oh, here we go.
Miami
And
on the
here
money
we-
line. Make sure you take them. Minnesota's not as good as everybody thinks that
With
they are.
Skylar Thompson at the controls and possibly Tyreek Hill being hurt in this game.
This Minnesota defense is atrocious. Absolutely atrocious.
But what do you got on the other side for the Miami Dolphins?
Raheem
Miami
Mostert.
Dolphins take them on the money
Right.
line. Harry the Greek has spoken.
Okay.
Daryl, you're
Let it
Premian.
be rule.
Okay.
Let it be rule.
Let it be rule. San
Let it
Francisco with
be.
the Atlanta
I
Falcons.
got your rule.
Frisco's 4.5-point favorites. Totals 45 points. Jacob,
4.5 now. See, I liked it. I think it opened at. Did it open at 6.5? I think.
yes. Now you
I
notice
like
a little
the-
bit of this money's coming to Atlanta.
See, I liked the Falcons at 6.5. I'm going to stay away from this game because that feels like a trap game too. Atlanta's covered every
Jacob is
single
going
week
to
so far this
Texas.
year.
Tampa Bay Ray.
Niners in a runaway. Take them.
Peter
Bank it.
Blake.
Make some money.
Yeah, I like the Niners in this game.
I'll take them on the money line. I'll take the Niners on the money line. It's not a lot of money, but you would have to lay some juice on that one. But the Falcons are, for some reason, always in
Ray,
the game.
he's talking juke. You want to show him the VIG?
Oh,
That's the VIG back there. Okay,
Oh,
there you go.
God.
All right.
that's
San
college vig, baby.
It's college VIG.
College vig.
This line was starting at 6.5, and in some books it was 7. It's all the way down to 4.5. They don't know if Cordero Patterson's going to be playing or what's the tight end's name?
Kyle Pitts.
Kyle
Pitts,
Pitts.
yeah.
If these two are playing,
Doesn't matter.
you might want to lean towards Atlanta. The total points in this game is 45. Play the over. Do not pick a side in this game. It's a trap game.
Hump Day says Falcons are going to win.
Have you seen Kyle Pitts try and do anything in this offense? It's Arthur Smith hates Kyle Pitts. That's what we got from the last.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, and again, it's a wasted draft pick, because they should have went with Justin Fields or one of these quarterbacks, and you got Marcus friggin' Mariota as your starting quarterback. Guess what, guys?
Wait, we should have
Mariota as your starting quarterback. You don't have a starting quarterback.
You should have went with Justin Fields, the guy who's not the guy in Chicago.
Justin Fields. You mean literally just Marcus Mariota in Chicago? Like he's the same dude.
I'll take Jake.
I will take Justin Fields over Marcus Mariota any day of the friggin' week.
Oh my God!
There's a point there.
Seriously.
Carolina Panthers
for him to play mediocre next year.
Head coachless Carolina Panthers at the LA Rams.
They haven't had a head coach all year long.
The Rams have scored less points than the Chicago Bears. Just throwing it out there, and they are a 10-point favorite at home, and the total's 41 points. Jacob, you like the game and why?
I don't. I'm gonna stay away. I know like the Rams have played terrible. They're really bad, but so are the Panthers. But the Panthers have PJ Walker, who I think gives them a better chance to win than Baker Mayfield. So I don't know. I'm gonna stay away from it. But the Rams, if they don't win this game, we're gonna be talking about something a lot different than the Panthers on
Tampa
Monday.
Bay Ray.
Well, fortunately, the Panthers fans don't travel well, so this might actually be a home game.
Don't go anywhere.
This might actually.
They don't go to their home stadium, right?
And for the first time all season, the SoFi Stadium may actually be an advantage for the Rams, who are usually outnumbered by opposing teams' fans. But yeah, I think that there's just too much going wrong with the Carolina Panthers, and the Rams are under some pressure to get some success at home. So they're going to I think McVay's going to take his foot off the throttle or put it on the throttle.
Pedro.
Yeah, Rams in a blowout. I mean, this is a blowout all day long. The Rams have struggled. They haven't been able to block for Matt Stafford. Look for Stafford to go off today versus a Panthers team that doesn't have a coach, doesn't have a quarterback. And also, there were reports that Christian McCaffrey could be on the trading block at this point. One of those teams rumored to be in the mix, believe this or not. And this is on, yes, the Rams because of Cam Akers, but also the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the cost could be a third-round pick. Rams big.
The Rams have nothing. The Rams don't even have. Do they even have the pick to give them? They're gonna Sean McVay's gonna have to cut off his toes and give them to.
First off, a third-round pick for McCaffrey is way too high, but that's for another conversation.
Well, when he's healthy, but the problem is he can't stay healthy.
When he's healthy,
right?
He's more
he's a third and not a second.
I'm probably right about that. I agree with you on that. But when he is healthy, he's one of the most productive running backs in the National Football League.
Here's the play in that game: Carolina's at the Rams. Carolina's a first half play. You're going to get 6.5 in some places, 7 points. Don't be afraid. The Rams are going to come out slow in this game. Carolina still has a defense that can still play. Do not bet the Rams minus 10. It wouldn't surprise me if they cover. They're not scoring a lot of points, but I do like Carolina in the first half, plus 6.5, possibly even 7. Arizona Cardinals are at the Seattle Seahawks. And ladies and gentlemen, the 88% rule. The road team, Arizona's 2.5-point favorite at Seattle. Jacob?
Yeah, it's the rule, dude. The Seahawks are playing inspired football, much better than I expected. Geno Smith, which is a sentence I never thought I'd say. Geno Smith is playing really well. He's playing like
full screen. Stay full screen for all your Jet friends.
I know. Listen. We have nothing against. I don't think Jets fans have anything against Geno. Same thing with it's Geno, Teddy Bridgewater. Those are guys we just don't have anything against. It is what it is. The whole situation was bad when they were here.
So you like the 88% rule? Seattle wins the game outright. Don't even take it. Correct?
Yeah, and watch Kenneth Walker for a big day today with Penny.
A good prop bet, Ray.
Like Jacob said, you got to respect the 88% rule. You got to respect it.
Is it still at 88% right now?
It's actually a little lower. It's not as bad, but by the end of the year, it'll be back to 88.
All right, fair enough.
Peter?
I'm going to Texas, El Paso on this.
Oh, God, because of the 88% rule.
What?
I'm with Jacob. I'm with Tampa Bay Ray. The 88% rule rocks. And there's another one coming up really soon. Take Seattle on the money line, ladies and gentlemen.
Seattle.
Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs. Anybody want to venture a guess what that line is?
Anybody
2.5-point road favorites. They also fit into the 88% rule, ladies and gentlemen. Peter, I'm going to let you go first.
I'm going to go with Kansas City in this game.
Taking the 2.5 points?
Yep.
That's it. Ray?
Yeah, it's Kansas City.
Jacob?
don't even. I'm not even touching this game. I just want to watch this game. This is gonna be a fun one.
I know.
Yeah.
How are we watching Cooper Rush in prime time and not whatever?
And we're going to talk about that.
Right.
I'm going to talk about that. Troy Polamalu says Peter is waiting to Giselle's divorce to finalize so he can text her on POF.
Sure, because she's on POF. Right.
Pig Dog says, Harry, who do you think's going to have more passing yards today, Mahomes or Allen? Pig Dog, thank you for tuning in, by the way. I honestly think it's going to be Patrick Mahomes today. I
Yeah.
think Kansas City's going to play a little bit
Really?
more inspired defense.
I think
Hump
they're gonna
Day
slow
says
down.
Gino was a Jet and a Giant. That is absolutely, absolutely good one. Hump Day, I'm going to go ahead and give you that parlay here at the end.
So
And Troy Polamalu says Harry wants to talk EC. You know, I'll
I'll
ban you for that.
Yes, he
comment.
does. He definitely
I'll
wants to
always-
talk
I'll always
Anyway,
talk
the
ECW.
ECW
I
wrestling.
like Kansas City on the money line, ladies and gentlemen.
By the way, they originated out of New Jersey and Philadelphia area.
I
just
like
saying.
the over 54 points. Okay, but I like Kansas City more.
That's right. Rob Van Dam.
Dallas at Philly, the Dackless.
He's such an idiot.
I had to
Was
say
there-
it.
Are they? Is he coming back tonight?
It doesn't make a difference, man.
Why?
Cooper Rush is balling this team.
He's doing
Ballin'!
so well. This
What?
Cowboys team, dude.
What?
Harry, this is going to be completely different from everything
What?
you have ever said. This Cowboys
What?
defense is top 5 in the NFL right now, no doubt. This team is top 5. I'd say they're borderline top 3. They are so good.
You know what I love though? What I
Right now.
love.
Philly's
what I
a
love-
6.5 point favorite. It's going to be 7 by game time, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody in the nation
Cowboys.
has given Dallas no chance in this game. Jacob,
Yep.
who do you
I'm
like?
gonna say
And
take
why?
the Cowboys or don't take the game. I think the Eagles. We saw them slow down a little bit against Arizona.
Price makes up for the pick. Peter,
I like the Philadelphia Eagles in this game. I don't know how you don't.
six
think
and
the
a
Eagles
half point
win. I do
favorites.
think the Eagles
Tampa Bay
win.
Ray.
I love the fact that you always ask a Dallas Cowboy fan just to put it out there. What if Cooper went 5 or 6 and 0? What? And then
What?
if Dak comes back and then tries to do too much, or this team doesn't play inspired, and they're like, no, it's Dak's team. And of course, from a money standpoint, Jerry Jones would agree 7 days a week, twice on game day. But this Philadelphia Eagles team, they're not just, they've won some solid games. They've proven the metal that they are. And they're going to definitely, I think I love them beating the crap out of the Dallas Cowboys.
Troy Polamalu says Peter has a POF tonight.
How does he even know? Is he a stalker? Is he stalking me?
He might be one of the ones that are actually texting
He
me.
probably is.
Hi, Peter.
Probably is. He probably is a catfish. He's a natural born catfish, that's for sure.
For those of you that want the Greeks pick, you might have to stay away from this game. Do not bet the game. Wait for the second half to make an educated decision. But if I had to lean one way, I'd have to lean a little bit toward the Dallas Cowboys because of the fact that they're playing inspired defense. But before the season started, I anointed this Philadelphia team to be one of the best defenses in the National Football League.
Mhm.
And so did you, Jacob. But then I watched them go to Detroit and lay a complete egg and give up 30 points in the fourth quarter.
Mhm.
Great defenses don't do that, but they learn from it as time goes on. This is a division game. You're supposed to take Philadelphia because it's really hard to blow anybody up, but it is the NFC least. Nope, not anymore. It is one of the most competitive divisions in all of football. Play the second half in that game. The total's 42.5 points, but I will tell you this. I think both defenses are going to give it up a little bit. You can play the over safely. Monday night game, the Denver Broncos with Jacob's
stop.
favorite quarterback of all time.
Stop it. Don't even. Andrew Luck is my favorite quarterback of all time. Don't even.
I'm sorry, Russell Wilson was. You and your man crush. I
My man
already know.
crush on Russ. Yeah. That's done now. He's
Against the Chargers, and the Chargers are 5-point favorites at home. And the total's 46 points. Jacob, do you like the game and why?
No, I don't like this game. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to bet on it. I don't want to watch it. I'm not even going to touch this game. I'm going in divisional. Chargers you can't bet on. Broncos you can't bet on. I'm staying away from it.
Tampa Bay Ray.
Khalil Mack is drooling on both sides of the mouth and right in the middle on both. They're going to put already Russell Wilson's having adversity in this Hackett system so far this year. This team's been waiting to get this game. It's been on. They've had this one checked on their schedule since the beginning. I love the Chargers. Chargers are going to show that they are actually belonging in the talk of winning the AFC South, right along with those Kansas City Chiefs tonight or tomorrow night.
Peter?
Yeah, I'm going to El Paso on this game.
Texas.
Yeah, I'm going to Texas because I don't know which
not
team.
Not a Texas game.
No,
I'm going
not in your
full
opinion.
I'm going the full screen.
Go
Ready?
full screen then.
Hump Day 391 Ashme. Need a good parlay? Anyone? I'm going to give you a good parlay here. And I'm not a parlay guy.
The white one in California?
Take Denver in the Chargers game. Play the under 46. The Denver Broncos are going to struggle mightily to put up points on the board. Chargers are going to cover this game by more than 5. If you want to sprinkle in a little bit of a play, you want to sprinkle in a little bit of sauce in there, who am I going to tell you? Take the Jets on the money line. Make that a 3-team parlay. Make it a bigger parlay on the 2-teamer with Denver and the Chargers, under 46 and -5. Sprinkle in a little New York Jets. You can also sprinkle in a little bit of the Baltimore -5.5 on a separate parlay. You can also sprinkle in a little bit of the Miami Dolphins with that 2-teamer, make it a 3-teamer, and put it on the money line. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the price always makes up for the pick. I am going to start letting people go. Jacob, tell everybody where they can find you, son.
Can I give out my parlays for the day?
Oh,
All right. So I have 3 parlays. One of them is like picking winners ish kind of. One of them's a player prop parlay, and then one of them is a fun FU parlay with like 8 teams in it. So let's do it. So the first one, Bengals money line, Vikings money line, Bucks alternate -6.5. That's plus 306. I like that value for sure, and I think the Bengals do end up winning that game. But my player prop one, to get yourself a Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown. He's going to find the end zone today. Michael Carter over 27.5 rushing yards. That's dangerously low for a team that's going to be pounding the run and using Michael Carter in the run game as well as Breece Hall. Michael Carter never gets tackled by the first guy. He's going to get those yards. Mark Andrews 60+ receiving yards, and Darius Slayton over 38.5 receiving yards. Who else is Daniel Jones going to throw to? He's not going to throw to Kenny Galladay. Kadarius Toney's not playing.
What?
He's throwing to Darius Slayton.
What?
With the first 3? Plus 446. I don't know what the other ones are. So
what?
What?
Ray, you want to give us what your parlays are for today?
I have no part. I got to get out. These guys are getting ready to go. They got their jet skis and all. They're getting ready to hop in Lake Seminole and have a great Sunday. So
Ray, tell everybody where they can find you.
At my house, drinking beer, watching the Bucks beating the shit out of the Pittsburgh Steelers today. Have a great day, everybody.
You've heard it live, Mr. Tampa Bay Ray. That was pretty good.
I forgot to say, but I have one more. I have the big one. Jaguars alternate plus 4.5. Bucks alternate -4.5. Bengals money line. Jets plus 7.5. Vikings money line. Ravens money line. Niners money line. Rams money line. Let's have a day. Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
don't
bet more than $10 on that because it's
don't
worth
do
like
that. Don't even touch it. Don't even do it. Just let me do it. Just let me do it.
You got to, man. When you make these like huge, long parlays,
they're so fun.
They're so much
fun.
fun.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
I played. As a matter of fact, they have that stupid teaser thingy where you can have to pick 15 games against the spread through the Caesar Sportsbook, and I was sitting in there and I'm just filling out a couple of cards. They're $5 a piece. I went 13 for 15.
Wow,
that's pretty good, man.
We got a great comment here from Troy.
But unfortunately, you know what the problem is? My game of the week was tied into all the parlays, and every one of them went bad. And we got a great comment from my wife. I'm gonna do it, Jacob. Oh Jesus, Jamie, I'll kill you.
This one.
Troy Palomalo says, Peter, I'm Samantha from POF. You said you would take me out tonight and then go for dessert at your place.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay. Jacob.
Yes.
Hit it, little brother.
Check me out. Twitter at Jacob Charno, Instagram at Hard Count Football. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Hard Count Football. I'm uploading occasionally. I'm trying to get in the swing of things. So hopefully I'll get more content out soon. But the Twitter is the main place where I'll be active, and TikTok now. It's just at Jacob Charno on TikTok. So that I'm trying to grow that as well. So
TikTok. Hump Day says LFG Jacob.
Yes, sir. And let's go Jets and Yankees. Let's have a day, boys. Peace.
Take care, brother. Thank you so much for coming in, Jacob. We'll talk to you soon. Well, I'll tell you what, I really missed the kid.
Yeah, I did too, and I'm glad that he's doing well at Syracuse. Awesome, good stuff.
Yep, absolutely, without question. Peter?
Yeah, the Sports Web Monday and Wednesday nights. Definitely tune in today after the Bucks game versus the Steelers For my post-game show, definitely get on the phone lines and do 3 things. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you
something to talk about.
Well, there you go. Something to think about. But
No,
thanks
it's
a
to
lot
talk
for
about,
stealing
I would
my
say.
line there.
It's always something to talk about.
Okay, whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into the Over Under. Sorry we took you a little bit longer. Thank you for leaving the comments all the time. Maybe we can pick up the phone lines a little bit more.
That means we got stamina. That's what that means.
That's okay. Yeah,
yes,
we do.
absolutely.
It was great. Thank you to and I have to tell you, man, I want to thank Jacob Charnoff for coming on the Over Under.
Yep.
And,
And
of course,
Jamie said,
Tampa
at
Bay
your
Rays.
house, Peter. Yes, absolutely. Which,
At
by the way,
your,
I'm in the middle of a
At your
move.
house, right, Peter?
Yes.
Boy.
And
Anyway, thanks for tuning in to 1252 Sports. The show is the Over Under. I'm your host, Harry the Greek, my co-host, Mr. Peter Blake. Thank you, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy. Thanks to everybody who was making
look,
comments.
Roger's here.
And Roger, hold on. Roger
Wow, better
says, "I'm
late than
here."
never.
Hey, Roger, I'm here, and now you're not, because now we're leaving.
Now we're
Now
leaving.
you have to watch the show all over again. Don't forget to share this on someone's timeline. But most importantly, make sure you bet responsibly. Keep your bets low and your returns high. I'm your host, Harry the Greek. Thank you so much for tuning in the Over Under. Have a great day, and let's win some money.